I think that one of the things about pacing guides is that they're often teacher-centered, teacher-focused, and not necessarily student-focused. And so allowing yourself to take a moment and reflect upon what are the big ideas that you're working with your curriculum, and what are the needs of your students, where are your students at with their understandings or misunderstandings of big ideas, and then work from there. I'm fortunate to work in a school system where we have a scope and sequence that's independent of a textbook, and it's focused on big ideas. And within our scope and sequence, we have references to page numbers, but also investigations, Mars and MAC tasks and challenges that go along with the big ideas that I can pull from as a classroom teacher and use with my different students. Because of the different dynamics and needs of each individual period and each individual student, it allows you more freedom to really focus on what it is that the kids need versus I need to be on page 37 on this day and page 39 on that day.
And I think there are a lot of teachers who don't have the resources and experience to be able to go outside of the page 37 on this day, and so they're glued to that. And I think oftentimes they see all of those resources that come with the book and all of those margin notes that come with their textbook as a to-do list rather than a menu of choices. And trying to get through everything and assign every single problem it's overwhelming for the teacher, it's overwhelming for the students, and nobody's having fun. But if you take a step back, like you were saying, and say, what do the students need? What can I choose from what's available to offer to my class? Then it takes some time, but it makes it more manageable and maybe even fun if you can find the right pieces.
I remember all too well feeling very overwhelmed by just what you're talking about, just looking at a textbook and looking at the teacher's edition, and here are all the things that you're supposed to do, right? And I still haven't met a math teacher that's done their whole book in a year, right? The book that's assigned. But what ultimately helped me settle into my profession is focusing on big ideas, like Cecilia was mentioning. And I know our district is kind of modeling after Cecilia's district, that notion of focusing on big ideas and letting the concepts kind of guide your year rather than a book.
Yeah, and I also feel like when you go through when you go slower through ideas, you actually get more content. I've learned that more as I've become a teacher, where if I hadn't slowed down maybe for talking about what a square inch means, what that really means when you label it, then maybe when I got to circles or trapezoids or parallelograms, that idea would have been lost. So now that I've slowed down, I can get through that a lot faster. So I've learned that more as a teacher in terms of the big ideas, but going slowly through it, somehow I get further along than if I had just gone through a book in order.
And your statement about going slower makes me think about how in our math classes, when you go slower, it allows you to really dig deeper, not just at understanding, but also at misconceptions. It's been amazing to work with students and uncover some huge misconceptions that really go back to elementary school or even previous years, and just really truly figure out what it is that led them to their misconception. Because if they've been carrying it around since 3rd grade and now they're a 7th or 8th grader, you're really asking them to take a big chance, to take a big risk by undoing something that has been a truth for them. And so by slowing down and digging deeper and allowing you as a teacher and also the students to sit with that disequilibrium, with that frustration, with that confusion, but know that we're all there to support each other, it's just an amazing experience to have as a teacher and also as a student, I imagine.